it was because of that. It's just the director decided to do the film in English. Yeah, and it was a gangster story. He wanted to do it in English, and it was an offense in the school that also was very highly ideological. You know, not academic, but highly ideological. And yeah, that was part of, yeah, that didn't help. So the matter is that it's a combination of two things. Except two teachers, the school was a mess. But at the same time, we were so fucking arrogant, you know? We were so we would make obvious how, you know, all the flaws and all the, there was a lot of ignorance, let me put it this way.
So, did you write your first movie with your brother? And how could you arrive to direct your first movie? And then I heard that there was some distribution problem with the Mexican government. What happened?
Oh, yeah. Well, it took me a long time to direct my first film. I mean, I guess that many different factors. One was an insecurity about writing, I guess. And it was interesting. Yesterday I had a conversation with at the school, and you could see that anxiety about the writing. And I completely relate with them, you know, because it's very daunting, you know, and I really thought that I couldn't do it. And I was always trying to write a screenplay that didn't work. But the other important factor is very early on, I started having a career in different positions in film for survival more than anything else, for money. Also, I had a son when I was very young. I was 20, I had a son. So pretty much film became my way of earning my living. So I worked as a boom operator for like 12 films. I worked as an assistant editor. I worked as an assistant cameraman. I would do little gigs as an editor myself or cameraman in very, very small little things. But my longest career then was as an assistant director. And I really thought that I was not going to have a career anymore. It was, you know, I would see all my peers, you know, people I collaborated in film school that they were directing films, and I was an assistant, and you know, it was kind of, yeah, there was a kind of sad resignation about it. I was very lucky that I was offered to do these kind of episodes of a TV thing, but it was more like Twilight Zone, you know, a little short. I could write my own short and direct it, and so I wrote and directed, and I photographed some of my own and edited some of my own stuff. And it was when Chivo asked me very candidly, without any, just very candidly, he wanted to be offensive or anything. He says, so what's your next step if you're doing these things? Because I was working for the TV company who was financing those. He says, after this, you want to do telenovelas? And I was so offended, but at the same time put me in my place, because I was like, what the heck am I doing? And it's when I, with Carlos, my brother, we wrote my first film. And it was the moment in which cinema had finally opened up for young people in Mexico. The landscape where I grew up in Mexico was a bit oppressive. The previous generation to mine, they had it the worst. Like, I think in like 6 years I was their youth, when they were supposed to be doing their first films, the production in Mexico was like 2 films a year. always by the old guard. So it was, the landscape of doing films in Mexico was impossible. And then this politician, one president came, and populist and whatever, and he gave money for cinema. And a lot of people from the young generation at that time, including it was Mariano Varo, Dana Rothberg, and other great filmmakers. We had our first break there.
But there was a problem with the distribution, you told me, of the movie.
Well, first, I didn't get along with the authorities, with the bureaucrats, and they told me that I would never do a film again. And so I knew that my life in Mexico was back to either doing telenovelas or commercials, and I didn't want to do either. But I managed to sell the film in the US to the Miramax. And that was the first time that Harvey Weinstein screwed me.